Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this introductory webinar, Mindfulness is the Key. If you've been coming to this series of webinars, you know that family recovery is essential for every family affected by a loved one's use disorder to consider and pursue. And here at the BALM, we have our own special version of family recovery that includes information, transformation, and support. And mindfulness plays a big role in the transformation of the program. So what exactly is mindfulness? Jon Kabat-Zinn, who founded the mindfulness-based stress reduction program at the University of Massachusetts, says that mindfulness means paying attention in a particular way, on purpose, in the present moment, and without judgment. And when we practice mindfulness, we have an inner sense of calm, the ability to simply be, and the ability to respond rather than react. So there are different ways to practice mindfulness, such as sitting meditation, walking meditation, intentional awareness, mindful eating, noticing what's happening within and around us at each moment, and letting go of distracting thoughts of the future or the past. And of course, in the BALM, we learn about all of these. So how do you achieve mindfulness when you have a loved one who is struggling, as so many of ours do? We highly recommend having a mindfulness practice. It could be meditation, it could be deep breathing, it may be centering. You may practice the release technique. You may use tools like focusing on the task at hand, present moment awareness, or breathing through each transition of the day. And if you're like most of us BALMers, you'll use a combination of all of these. The key to successful mindfulness is to practice every day. When you practice your mindfulness every day, the regularity helps you create a habit, and calm soon takes over. Interestingly, one of the things that happens when we get calm from a mindfulness practice is that we start to notice our thoughts. We notice them starting, going through our mind, and going out of our mind. And we realize that we are a choice as to which thoughts to grab onto and which thoughts to just let flow. So if we have that kind of choice, we learn how to take advantage of it and not obsess anymore over thoughts that we have no control over. So this is how we become mindful. And when I say thoughts we have no control over, what I mean is thoughts about things that we have no control over. So I might say, oh my God, I'm so upset about the hurricane. Now, I live in Texas. I used to live in Florida, and I have loved ones in Florida, and thank God it's moved off of Florida, but now it's on the coast going up, blah, 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 blah. Now, it's loving that I care about people all over the country. Some I know, some I don't know. But when it comes right down to it, if my mind is in a panic like this about things that I can't control, there isn't a lot of space left for me to handle the things that I can control. So having a daily practice allows me to be aware that I am concerned, do what I can, pray if prayer is part of it, get help for people if that's part of what I'm capable of doing, and then handle my life right here, right now. So here are some examples of mindfulness meditation as a practice. See if you do any of these or would consider doing them. One is to sit quietly for 5 minutes, 3 times a day. When you do so, you watch the breath as it moves in and as it moves out. The breath is very independent. It really doesn't need our help. So when we are willing to be mindful, to watch it as it moves in and out without controlling anything, you sit quietly for 5 minutes 3 times a day. You watch your breath as it moves in and as it moves out. And you watch how much you want to control that breath. The fact of the matter is, in the beginning of a mindfulness practice, what often happens is you start to think, I'm not breathing. What's going to happen to me? Oh my God. Oh, that's better. But the fact is that if you just sit and you watch your breath as it's moving in and as it's moving out, and you don't try to control it, it will eventually move in and move out again. And so let's say something happens, like your granddaughter walks in. Oh, I'm so excited. I have to tell you about something. And normally, if you're in the middle of something, you'd go, oh, you can't bother me now. I'm busy. And instead, with a mindfulness practice, what happens is if you're in the middle of your mindfulness and she walks in, all excited, you might just say, granddaughter, give her a hug, and off she goes. You learn how to allow life to happen without everything that happens being major or embarrassing or upsetting. When you practice this in a meditation of watching the breath move in and out, not controlling it, labeling distractions, thought, pain, honking horn, granddaughter, and then returning to the breath and watching it. Doing this for 5 minutes, 3 times a day, you will start to get a sense of calm. You may want to add 5 more minutes. You may not. I know that when someone first taught me the 5 minutes, 3 times a day, it was with the 4-4-8, which is another thing we teach. It might be on this slide set. And I said, okay, I can do that 3 times a day. I could not even do it regularly once a day. I just couldn't get around to it. And slowly, with patience, I got to once a day. And then I got to twice a day. And then I got to 3 times a day over months. And what was interesting about that is once I was doing it 3 times a day, that kind of relaxed inner space became my default. So that if something upsetting happened, I could sit quietly. I could handle it. This is one of the ways we learn in the BALM to become, rather than reactive, responsive. The breath is extremely powerful. It does so many things for us. You can see them on this screen. It detoxifies and releases toxins. It releases tension, relaxes the mind and body, and brings clarity. Breathing relieves emotional problems, relieves pain, massages organs, increases muscle strength, strengthens the immune system, improves posture, improves the quality of our blood and our digestion and our nervous system. Breathing strengthens our lungs, makes our heart stronger, assists in weight control, increases stamina, improves cellular regeneration, and elevates mood. So with that being the case, might you want to consider a breathing practice? So here's a deep breathing practice to try. So you inhale through your nose, expand your belly, then fill your chest as you're counting to 5. Hold and count to 3. Feel your cells filled with the light and energy of the sun. Then exhale fully from a slightly open mouth. As you do so, feel your cells releasing waste and emptying all old energy as you count to 5. And you repeat this slowly and mindfully for 5 minutes, 3 times a day. Another way, we also talk about breathing through each moment. When people get stressed out, the first thing to go is the breath. They stop breathing. Flooding is a process of actually stopping breathing. The blood rushes from your head to your feet. You can't think, because if you're not breathing, you're not thinking, and it's really very bad. So we teach families in the BALM to breathe through each moment. Be aware of your breath. You don't have to, it can be very quiet. No one else has to know that you're doing aware breathing. The other nice thing about aware breathing is you can really only think about one thing at a time. The mind doesn't have the capacity, despite what's said about multitasking, to think of more than one thing. So if you're upset about how things are going and you're willing to just breathe in and out and watch yourself breathing in and out, the upset is there, you turn your attention to your breath, and suddenly the thoughts go and you calm down. We also recommend breathing through each moment in your own home. The phone rings, you hear it ring, you breathe in, you pick up your phone, you breathe out, you answer hello. Someone knocks on the door, breathe in, walk to the door, breathe out, open the door. Leaving a room, breathe in, entering the next room, breathe out. You're starting an activity, breathe in and out. Ending an activity, in and out. One deep breath in, one deep breath out. Breathe through each moment. Another wonderful tool that you learn in the BALM, and you're getting some of the best BALM secrets in this class, my humble opinion, is to focus completely on the task at hand. Remember what I said, the mind can only focus on one thing at a time. So you become aware that my favorite thought, quote unquote favorite, when we were going through our hard times was, should I stay? Should I go? Should I leave him? Should I stay here? I don't know. What do I do? What do I do? I mean, I was literally like that. Do I stay? Do I go? What can I say? It wasn't pretty, but that's how I felt. And it was really, it hurt my head. So when I learned how to focus on the task at hand, as soon as I became aware of an obsessive thought, I would turn my attention to what I was doing in the moment. The first time I did it, I was driving the car. So I always remember that one. And I looked at my hands. My hands are on the steering wheel. My right hand is moving the steering wheel to the left. My left hand is accepting the steering wheel. And so on. And I was verbalizing to myself exactly what I was physically doing. And those obsessive thoughts fell away. You can use it with peeling carrots, steering the car, scrubbing the pot with a Brillo pad. And you just keep talking through the action until you calm down. Very powerful. I love present moment awareness. This is another one. You breathe in and you breathe out. And then you become aware of something around you. Everybody try this one. Maybe it's a picture on the wall. Maybe it's the lamp behind your computer. Maybe it's the door or a window. You become aware of it and you look at it with new eyes, kind of soft eyes. Swallow it with your eyes. Don't think about what it's called, like there's a lamp, but rather look at that black shaped object. It's got white streaks across it. Focus on its characteristics with no judgment and no labeling. Just observe. You relax and you breathe throughout, and you do this for 2 minutes. By the end of that time, your blood pressure goes down. You just kind of like, oh, relax. Present moment awareness is a very powerful tool. So, the BALM is all about letting go of your inner turmoil. Why? Well, because there's knowledge we need to gain in order to be truly helpful to our loved one. And in order to begin to take proactive steps to help our loved one attain and sustain recovery. And when we let go of inner turmoil, we're more able to resist the desire to give in to our struggling loved ones' manipulations. And as a result, we get our lives back and we experience the moment by moment joy of living. You know, today we've talked about the inside job of letting go. And this sets the stage for the work of becoming our loved ones' best chance at recovery. In 2 weeks, we'll be back and we will talk about the facts. What about treatment? Before treatment, after treatment? How do we behave then? How can we be our loved one's best chance? We hope you're going to come to the upcoming retreat, August 11th to 14th, and enjoy your year of BALM to take a deep dive into the world of family recovery. If you're signing up tonight for both, actually this week for both, you can get them both for the price of the BALM. So for $1,800, you can get both the BALM and the retreat. You know, we can let go of generations of panic reactions to difficult situations and learn to respond calmly. This is all about continuing to change your family tree. So we invite you to practice these mindfulness tools, listen to lesson 3 of the daily BALM, and then after lesson 4, join the next 7 steps class. Remember, the breath points the way to love. Mindfulness is the path, and kindness, the most important superpower. For more information on how to enroll as a BALM family member, talk with the person who referred you to this webinar. And if you need any help to learn more about the BALM or technical assistance with your enrollment or use of the program, visit balmfamilyrecovery.com or call us at 1-888-998-BALM, option 3. We look forward to seeing you in the BALM, to seeing you at the retreat. It's a very exciting retreat. It's calming. We'll be learning about the 7 steps. And these workshops that we're doing every other week are really, we made them in preparation for the retreat. So you could have your attitudinal shift and then come to the retreat to learn how to truly be that loving mirror with your loved one. We hope we'll see you. Take care. And remember, everybody, be a loving mirror.